And Joe, you have a similar story in that you're a Taiwanese Canadian, but you were also educated in the US, right? You went to Lawrenceville, Yale Law, and then you went to the legal industry before dabbling in private equity. So how did you get into Alibaba? How did you found this new company with Jack Ma?
I just realized I took the wrong turn and went legal instead of doing chips or computer science. But I was born in Taiwan, grew up there until I was 13, and then my parents sent me to school in the United States. In fact, Dr. Chang just earlier today reminded me that when he got to Taiwan, one of the first people he met was my father, who was a lawyer that represented Texas Instruments. And
small world.
The first person, actually.
The first person.
Because he was standing at the end of the, back then there was no walkway, you know me.
Right.
It was, yeah.
The staircase.
Staircase, yeah.
Below the
plane.
plane.
He was standing right there, you know.
So,
yeah.
Exactly. So, and then he also reminded me that I have an uncle who worked at Intel Motorola and had a lot of chip patents under his name. And Dr. Chang tried to hire my Uncle Roger.
Wow.
Unsuccessfully.
So you can imagine, as a kid growing up in Taiwan, Dr. Chang is just the role model and an iconic person. So I'm absolutely honored to share the same stage with Dr. Chang today.
Likewise. Absolutely.
You're supposed to tell your story.
And Ida, what was the question? U.S. education and how...
And then how did you come about moving and pivoting from private equity and a legal background into founding this company with Jack?
So the lawyers don't make any decisions. Lawyers only advise people. So I wanted to get into a role where I can actually be involved in decision making. And that's why I went into private equity. For someone with a legal background to go into private equity was fairly adjacent, I would say, because lawyers have to do documents and in these M&A transactions and things like that. So, and then from private equity, I got lucky. I met Jack Ma in 1999 through a friend's introduction. Another friend from Taiwan, and then I went to his second floor apartment in this unit called the Lakeside Gardens, and it was a room full of young, fresh-faced, wide-eyed people that are following Jack. They're sort of the disciples of Jack, and that was the rest was history.
Incredible! Wow. Well, I think it's safe to say that everyone that we speak to these days, particularly the large CEOs around the world, the number one thing on their mind is the decoupling of US and China and the bifurcation of the two countries. Where do you see that headed, Joe? I'll start with you.
I think there's a couple of reasons for that's driving the decoupling. I think governments nowadays around the world, not just US and China, but governments around the world are worried about security, national security, and also they're worried about digital security. So when you go to Europe, people talk about digital sovereignty, making sure that their citizens and their data privacy is protected. And for those reasons, I think supply chain is now being decoupled, and also in the digital world, we actually see a lot of fragmentation in the digital world.